Welcome to Final Destinations. In this episode, we are featuring 27 Northwest 727-200s that were not registered with a -US registration, like November 201 US or November 202 US. All of these acquisitions started out with other airlines such as Eastern Airlines, Republic, and even Ansett Australia. These all joined Northwest after 1986 and varied in service terms as low as only 1 year. Let's get started with a 727 that is still potentially flying today. Some of the 727s that Northwest acquired during the merger with Republic were originally Hughes Airwest 727s that were acquired by Republic back in 1980. These 727s are distinguished by a -RW in the registration. November 721 RW was originally delivered to Hughes Airwest as seen here in 1980. This 727 flew for Northwest from 1986 to 97 and now is possibly still flying for total air cargo, registered as PRTTO down in Brazil. If so, this aircraft would still be flying at the age of 44. Heading over to Roswell, November 722 RW, which served Northwest from 1986 to 2003, was retired as Northwest and scrapped around 2005 as seen here in this aerial imagery. November 723 RW made it to Tucson and was retired as November 294 SC of Sun Country and scrapped around 2006. You can also see this aircraft in Google Earth. Back to Brazil, November 725 RW may be the second of 3 727s still reportedly flying in Total Air Cargo's current fleet. This aircraft is registered as PRTTP. If anybody knows this for sure, please leave a comment in the comment section. We head back to Roswell. November 727 RW was retired and scrapped around 2006. Here is a photo of the aircraft in 1987 with a Northwest Republic hybrid livery. Here we see November 728 RW intact as of 2014 at El Paso Airport. This aircraft seems to have been purchased by Inter Air of South Africa and registered as 3D BBQ. For some reason, it was still in Northwest bowling shoe colors up until its apparent demise in 2015. It may have been a parts aircraft since it was scrapped around the time Inter Air ceased operations. We don't have to go far at all to see November 729 RW. I snapped a photo of this bird in the early 2000s. This aircraft was registered as 3D ABQ for the same airline as November 728 RW, but seems to have been scrapped around 2005. November 742 RW, the last of the original Hughes Airwest 727s to be used in the Northwest fleet, ended up in São Luís, Brazil. The last service was with Air Brazil, registered as PRMTJ. You can see this aircraft stored in aerial images as recent as 2019, as well as in Google Street View. Northwest acquired some Boeing 727s from Eastern Airlines, presumably during the demise of the airline back in 91-92. These aircraft were registered with -EA registrations. November 801 EA was retired with Capital Cargo and was stored at Wilmington Air Park in Ohio as recently as 2017. The aircraft is visible in Google Earth in 2017 without engines. November 802 EA ended up somewhere in Chile. The aircraft can be seen in Google Earth derelict in 2014. According to a story by worldairlinenews.com, on September 1st, 2016, at least part of the X-Star Airlines 727 was purchased and moved to a location near the city of Lonquin. The final registration was CC-CPV. November 815 EA was eventually retired as a capital cargo 727. The aircraft seems to have been out of service for a while, but was still derelict at Orlando International as of 2019. You can see it in Earth and in Street View. The next 4 Eastern registrations went on to Champion Air after Northwest. This may explain the Northwest 727s you still saw flying in 2003 after the retirement in January. They were also all retired at Walnut Ridge Regional Airport in Arkansas. November 816 EA was retired as November 675 MG of Champion Air and scrapped around 2010. November 817 EA is seen here landing at YYZ on February 1st, 2003. This was almost a month after retirement from Northwest's scheduled service, and it was more than likely operating for Champion Air. This aircraft ended as November 676 MG and scrapped around 2010. Here we see November 818 EA as Eastern in 1990. The aircraft was retired as November 678 MG and scrapped around 2010. Now here's an interesting story. November 820 EA was turned into a mock Air Force One, which in reality is a 707 as we all know. According to an article by Butler County Times, this occurred on August 19, 2009. On YouTube, you can see some clips of the presidential experience, which is a traveling display. I cannot confirm where this aircraft is now, but I assume it is still traveling around. This next group of 727s were acquired during the Republic merger, but this time they were originally delivered to Republic. These were all acquired by Northwest in and around 1986. They are identified with a -RC registration. November 712 RC was flying for Northwest from 1986 to 99. It was retired with Angola government as D2-ERU and was last seen at Opa-locka Airport in Florida around 2010. The rest of the -RC registrations were retired with Champion Air. November 715 RC was retired as November 682 CA and scrapped around 2009 in Roswell. November 716 RC is seen here while being scrapped in Burbank, California in 2013. This aircraft was retired as November 686 CA. November 718 RC is seen here in 1986 by Ted Quackenbush's photo in the original Republic livery. It was retired as November 688 CA and scrapped around 2008 in Roswell. Back to Opa-locka, November 719 RC is seen here in 2009. It was retired as November 683 CA and scrapped around 2010. November 720 RC was another 727 that made it to Roswell for scrapping. November 720 RC was retired as November 684 CA and scrapped around 2008. November 721 RC has a much better legacy. This aircraft is still stored at Cochabamba, Bolivia as of 2020. I really hope I said that right, but just taking a guess. There's a short article on Reddit. The link will be available in the video description. It is also visible clearly in Google Earth as recently as last year. Down to the last 5 random registrations within the Northwest 727-200 fleet. N274WC was only with Northwest for about a year, between 86 and 87. Seems these -WC registrations were acquired with Republic. This aircraft was delivered as VH-RMU to Ansett, Australia back in 1972. It went on to be retired as Aeropostal with a registration of YV-17C. It was last reported in Caracas and was probably being scrapped shortly after 2004. November 275WC was also originally Ansett with a registration of VH-RMV. This aircraft was also on with Northwest between 86 and 87. This airplane ended up actually retiring back in Australia with Australian Air Express registered as VH-TXH and was scrapped sometime around 2010. November 276WC was the last of these short-lived Northwest acquired 727s. This one was last with All Canada Express registered as C-GACC. Unfortunately, it was damaged by Hurricane Wilma in 2006 while sitting on the ramp in Miami. It was stripped of parts and more than likely is scrapped by now. Back to Walnut Ridge one more time, November 8877Z was originally with Eastern but served with Northwest from 1992 to 2003. It was retired with Champion Air as November 674MG and scrapped around 2010. Before we get to the last aircraft in this episode, I would like to thank all of the photographers who captured these stunning tales, freezing those moments in time that help visually document the legacy of each aircraft featured in this program. I would also like to thank planelogger.com and rzjets.net, as without them and their contributors, this series would be impossible to complete. Finally, thank you to Google for providing the tools to produce these stunning and organized on-screen video tours. Remember, to see a full list of credits, be sure to check out the video description, and please like and subscribe for each new episode of Final Destinations. For the last Northwest 727-200 we're featuring in this program, we are heading to Canada for the first and only time. November 8878Z was with Northwest from 1992 to 99 and retired with Cargojet Airlines with a registration of C-GCJN. It was last at Hamilton Airport in Ontario, Canada in 2017. Although this isn't an ex-Northwest 727 of Cargojet, check out this extremely short takeoff with a light 727. It is fantastic. Thanks for watching this episode of Final Destinations. The next episode will be featuring the remaining 57 Northwest 727-200s. The episode is key to the Northwest 727 legacy as it features the main fleet of 727s spanning from 1968 to 2003, and will even feature a collection of photos documenting a final trip for one of these legendary airplanes. Till next time, keep snapping those photos and logging those tales. Good day.